Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, A Journey in Health. This is a channel all about me trying to get my weight under control and just having overall sustained health and weight loss. So if you're, excuse me, if you've been joining in the past few weeks, I just started back on my journey towards health. And I started with water fasting. I've been doing a series of water fasts. This is week 4 of me water fasting, or coming towards the end of week 4 of me water fasting, where I do 5 or 6 days of water fasting and then 1 or 2 days of eating. And I have to say, and full disclosure, using this channel for what I originally set it up for, which is, accountability. I'm going to be honest with you guys. It's week 4 and I feel like I've been doing it all wrong. I won't say all wrong, but I've been doing it a lot wrong. I think my method and how I've been going at it, I think the fasting for 5 or 6 days is good. Actually, I think for me, given my weight, right now being in the high 250s, I think I can do 5 or 6 days of eating, but I think I have been completely missing it and doing it wrong when it comes on my refeed or my cheat days or days where I eat, whatever you want to call it. I think I have been completely missing it on that. So again, this past week, things kind of fell apart. For whatever reason, I just didn't get back on. And I ate this past week. I guess I got a little discouraged. The first day that I ate good. Like, my cheat days have as I've said in the past, have been epic. I pretty much ate what I wanted, how I wanted. If you follow me on social media, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, you see I made some cinnamon rolls for the first time because I bake. I love to bake. I love to cook. That's my passion, which is, I don't know if that's really hurting my what I'm trying to do, but I love to bake, and made cinnamon rolls. I had those, and I got on the scale the next day, and it said I shot up 9 pounds. Again, I know that wasn't all fat. That was retaining a lot of water. I can tell, when, I can see it in my legs and my hands, I know when I'm retaining water. Again, I had the 21-pound weight loss, the first 6 days. So I get that. I understand that. And it just kind of spiraled from there. And it's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? And so I didn't want to talk about it, but I'm like, this is what this channel has been for. And so I got completely off the rails, and I started thinking back. So when I first started when I started this cycle of doing it back in September of 2020, I was doing it. I was on day like 8 or 9 of just doing straight water. So I'm doing that, and I started having a bunch of gout flare-ups. And so they gave me the shots, and then they gave me the steroid to take, because the shot didn't really do it. The steroid to take, and the steroid said you had to have it with food. And I talked to my daughter, says, "Any way I can have it without food?" So nope, you got to take food with it. You don't want it on an empty stomach, it can really mess you up. And so what I did was that night I had a small salad. And I'm sorry, it wasn't the steroids. When this first happened, they gave me a real strong painkiller. And she was telling me, who they prescribed to, the lady, whoever, it doesn't matter. She was telling me, she said, "Yeah, you got to eat." She said, "My husband, he takes it. You got to have something to eat." So I'm like, I was 8 or 9 days strong, and I was like, I don't want to eat, but I'm like, I was in, if you ever had gout, that's some severe pain. So I'm having this pain. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'm going to eat. But so when I ate, this is what I ate. Again, I'm not saying what I'm doing is correct. I wouldn't recommend it for anybody else. I'm just sharing my journey. So that night, I remember I went to Zaxby's and I got a salad. I got a grilled Cobb salad that they have. Excuse me, didn't eat the bread, but I did have an order of fries. See, I have to tell y'all all that. I'm trying to be as honest as I possibly can. I did. I had the salad. I had the large order of fries, and I had some cashews in the house. And so, in my head, I was like, I'm already eating, since I got to do it for the medicine. This is what I did. But salad, fries, cashews, pop. That was it. And so when I looked on the scale the next day, I hadn't gone up in weight. I didn't go up in weight. And I don't know if it was just that time. And so that's when I was like, okay, I'm like, I don't have to go for extreme long periods. That's when I was like, okay, I can do this for a few days, anywhere from, and originally my goal was to go anywhere from 10 to 14 days, have a cheat meal or a refeed, keep it low carb, under 500 calories. I got that from watching this insane dude on YouTube. He is called the Snake Diet. Now, I don't agree with everything about it, but there are some things. I think his name is Cole. If you've ever seen him, he's very vulgar, very aggressive, curses a lot. I know he does it just for the shock value, but I think some of the stuff he says is right. I don't do the snake juice. Like, I tried it one time to do it a while back. I just couldn't get down with doing that. But he does, and I'll link one of his videos. Warning for that video: if you watch it, this is not something to listen to at work around kids. It's a lot of cursing, a lot of that. So it's kind of like you got to weed through all of that to get to the base of what he's saying as far as the fasting. And he talks about, building a schedule for your fasting. The heavier you are, the longer you can go and on periods of eating, but the periods of fasting. But the thing that he discusses is that your refeeds, you need to keep them under 500 calories. Especially if you're a bigger person, 500 calories, no carbs, and you're monitoring yourself with the ketone strips, making sure that, that there's a lot of color in it, which means your body's in ketosis, you're fat adapted, your body's using fat for energy. I hope I said all that right. So I'm like, okay, that's what I need to get back to. And that's been something that I'm trying to break and trying to fix, because that's been the story of my life. I can do so well, and then it's like you start, it's like give you an inch, want to take a mile, give you a rope, want to be a cowboy. It's like, okay, bring it back in. This is what's going to work. It's going to be hard. I know I remember when, years ago, back in 2010, 11, when I lost over 200 pounds, people would ask me, they were like, how did you do it? And what were you feeling, all that kind of stuff. And I was telling them, man, it was like burying your best friend. That's the best way that I could describe it. I was so regimented. My mind was so focused. You're talking, that was 10 years ago, single guy, disgusted with, always been the best friend, never been the one, it's like, ooh, you gonna make somebody a good husband one day. Not me, but somebody. I got tired of that. I was just done. And so I was just super focused. And like I tell people, in that time in my life, giving up all the foods that I really wanted, that I liked, it was like burying a friend, because food had been that comfort. It had been that stress reliever. And I mean, at the same time, it was, causing me the discomfort and it was causing me stress. But it was like you could just eat it all up, and giving it away or staying away from it. It was like, that's the only thing I can say. It was like burying your best friend, someone that's always been there for you, someone that you can count on and be with. And so I haven't, I did well at that point, but I have not done that again this time. And so, I guess I'm kind of coming to the reality of I may have to be one of those people that, until that day comes where I have total control over it, I may just have to stay away from all that stuff. And whether it be, low carb is what I'm thinking now, just, a lot of green vegetables and lean meats and stuff, when I do, and having my portions be 75% green vegetables, 25% lean meats, and do it that way. If that keeps me in ketosis, burning fat, keeps me, a person who's insulin resistant and has diabetes, and getting rid of it. But knowing that keeps that most dangerous, visceral fat around your belly, to keep that off, I may just have to. And it's something that you don't want to do. Who wants to do harm? I would say harm. You're helping yourself, but who wants to discipline themselves like that? Like, I've said before, it's the pain of two disciplines. It's the two pains of life: pain of discipline, or pain of what is it? Pain of discipline, or pain of disappointment. Wow. It's either the pain of disappointment or discipline. it's gonna hurt no matter what. And so I've gotten so far from what I was doing. Like I said, my cheat days have become epic. And even to like, I'm trying to catch myself like, okay, I'm like, I just went a couple years. I'm like, I just went off for a week. And that's why I was shocked because even during Thanksgiving and Christmas, I was able to get right back on. And so I'm like, stopping myself, get back on when I do eat. You know, depending on how my body feels, somewhere between 7 and 10 days, I have that one meal, and get right back on. I believe for myself, that's what I have to do in order to be successful. So again, I appreciate you guys. You know, got a few people who they're always commenting and some new followers. I appreciate it. Appreciate you guys joining me on this journey. If you've learned anything, if you like some of the stuff what I said, hit like, comment, subscribe. I love to hear from you guys. I appreciate all the support and good vibes. Even when I come in and make a video like this where I'm like, I completely messed up and I feel bad about it. You guys are right there saying, hey, stick to it. It's good. It's great. So I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. So again, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think about how I am going to approach this from here on out. 7 to 10 days of water fasting, one cheat meal, and get right back on to keep the weight gain to a minimum and to get to, you know, wherever my body says, you know, this is good, this is where you should be.